do a response video for the state of Georgia. Again, really quick stop, largely because we lost a lot of our footage, but also because the place that we planned on visiting was not open, and that's my fault. The question was about, I asked you about Sherman's March to the Sea or Sherman's Atlanta campaign. Those two are connected in a lot of ways. So it was Sherman, and I asked you what was revolutionary or what was incredible about his military campaign deep into the South in 1864 during the Civil War. And, you gave me a lot of answers. Trevor got it right. Trenton got it right. Jenna got it right. Julian C. got it right. You all talked about how during that campaign, in one form or another, you talked about this, that Sherman stretched beyond his supply lines and pushed further and further into the South using only the resources that they were able to pillage and plunder, essentially, in the South. And that also involved destroying infrastructure to help wipe out communication and also transportation lines within the South that the Confederacy was using. That was revolutionary because generally, as was the tradition established by most of the West Point graduates that served as the Union generals, you stay within your supply lines, you stay connected to have that supply. You do not stretch beyond that and try to, in some ways, gamble that there will be enough resources available for you as your military force continues to push forward into new territory. So that was pretty revolutionary. It was also somewhat controversial, and some of you talked about this. Trevor talked about the Union soldiers heating up railroad ties and bending them around trees, sort of as a symbol of both where they've been, but also as a symbol of, how to put it, just the destruction that they were causing, I suppose. But so you have to keep in mind that, and Abraham Lincoln wrestled with this question. Okay, Sherman, yes, you can go in. And to a large extent, Grant, Ulysses S. Grant, who was another major general for the Union soldiers. Yes, you can push into the South, and yes, you can wage this sort of pillaging and plundering style of strategy to completely demoralize the enemy. But this is an unconventional war in a lot of ways because the territories that you're invading are territories that we want to then make a part of our country again. So we're trying to minimize the devastation to those areas. Trevor asked a good question. He guess he's going to get points for it. He asked, was it necessary, or do I think that it was necessary? And I think Abraham Lincoln wrestled with that question. Most of the North wrestled with that question. Is it a responsible thing to do? Is it a necessary thing to do? Is it going to cause more problems, more harm than good, essentially, to go into the South and wage that type of a campaign in an area that you're hoping to then bring back into your union, your country? And I do think that it was. I think that the South was a very, very ideologically driven place in the 1860s. And similar to a lot of the ideological movements that you even see today. Oh, God, I shouldn't go there. I don't want to compare the Confederacy to terrorists. But it's just when you're driven largely by ideology, and when Jefferson Davis, the president of the Confederacy, is telling citizens to poison the wells before they retreat as Union soldiers are coming in, when they've expressed that they are not going to surrender. It was sort of the historical example that comes to my mind to compare it to would be the dropping of the atomic bomb on Japan at the end to end the Pacific theater of World War II. Japan was so ideologically driven and so unwilling to surrender that to a certain degree extreme measures were required. I think that I would say the same thing about the Confederacy and ending the war with the South and the Civil War, I suppose. Okay, let's get points. In first place overall, Trevor R. has 91 points. That's for the adults, I suppose. Jenna has 78 points in second place. And third place is Jill S. with 12 points. And then in fourth place with the adults is Mr. Moore with three points, I believe. Yes, 3 points. For the students, we've had some shakeups. So Julian C. is still in first. He's at 69 points. Natalie B. is in second place with 31 points. Trenton W. is making a rapid comeback. He's now in third place with 21 points. In fourth place now is Olivia M., who has 14 points. Tied for fifth is Lily K. and Maggie H., who are in 5th place with 12 points. That knocks Frank off the leaderboard, who has 10 points, and then we have a lot of people with 6 or 3 points. So please keep watching the videos. The next preview will be posted shortly. Thanks. See ya.